Hi, everybody. Good evening and a very welcome to United Stand. We all firmly believe tonight that we'll be here celebrating and espousing the virtues of winning a second Europa League. But unfortunately, due to the cowardice and incompetence of our manager, we're to sit through a penalty shootout, which in fairness, I saw 21 of the best penalties I've probably seen in my 30 years watching football. And here we are now discussing falling at the final hurdle. So thank you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Thank you yet again for your inability to enact effective game management. Thank you for your inability to enact reasonable substitution that might actually affect change in the game. And thank you very much, Mr. Solskjaer, for losing the Europa League final for us. That game, I firmly believe, was there for the taking. And Solskjaer, you bottled it. KG, I'm going to go to you first because I know you got a lot to say.
All right. I'm furious. I'm fuming. I asked you lot the other day. I want to ask that same question to everyone as well. I said, guys, if he doesn't win it, are you gonna be Ollie out? My standing was very clear on the weekend. I said, guys, he needs a trophy. Ollie needs a trophy to prove his worth. And today, I feel confident about saying Ollie out. The reason why I say Ollie out is we saw it today. When we talk about using the squad, we heard it from Rio and that. There was a time when the players were visibly tired. Visibly. And it's like, does Ollie make a change? No. These players, I get these players are not what you want, but can they get you over the line? Of course they can. Good evening. We made 5 subs. 5 subs. Look at the difference that he made in trying to change the game. You're trying to do something with the game. Our manager, like the fact that we can see Rashford take him out, get him off. Rashford stays on the pitch. Greenwood gets sent off. Then you say to yourself, oh, Rashford clearly got a knock. There's no way we can continue playing him. There's no chance. What does he do? Pogba, come off. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe some of the changes that I was seeing. And you say to yourself, again, what does Donny van der Beek have to do? What does he have to do? Like, today was when you looked at how inept our manager is. Yes, there was like the players should have taken us over the line, but I feel that sometimes it now becomes managerial decisions that can make a change and do something. Now, a lot of people have accused him of being a man that plays on moments. And today, it's almost like they'll prove right. We was waiting for a moment, waiting for someone to save us instead of some managerial nous. What Jay says, cuteness, managerial cuteness, where it's like, what are you going to do with it? Everything? I hated everything. Literally, like today, I was gutted. I couldn't watch the penalties. But you look at Ollie and you say, that's his level. Yes, second place, well done, Champions League finishing, but can you go a step further is the question. And I always say yes. Is there a better manager in world football that can come in and take this? Because we should win that cup. There's no excuses. There is no excuses. I spoke to Alex the other day and I said, the only way we lose that cup is if we do it to ourselves. Anyway, lads, that's me, bruv. Even my camera's had enough.
Yeah. KG, listen, mate, I agree with everything you said. KG actually rang me about a half an hour ago and I put him on loudspeaker and he heard my 7-year-old son cry. This is my son's first ever big final. And his memory is watching an incompetent, inept manager display an act of cowardice that I've never seen a manager display in all my years watching football. Like the VIllarreal manager had 5 subs on the pitch by the 77th minute. And the subs he brought on to go and win the game. And KG, you're a massive boxing fan. It seemed to me that from like the 68th minute, the way we were approaching the game, it was like throwing a jab from the outside, but never really getting stuck in, throwing some hooks to the head, hooks to the body, and trying to actually go and win the game.
He played for penalties.
I'm just, yeah.
He played for penalties. We have a manager that played for penalties. We have Ahmad. We have all these players. We have Donny van der Beek. We have so many changes. Listen to the changes, guys. Twan ZB, Dan James, then the Telles one. So I know already penalties. It's all day penalties. Ollie, like, again, he plays it so safe. Ollie's played this even with the two defensive midfielders, safe. Everything about Ollie's career so far has been safe, and I'm just sick of it. Anyway, whatever. Super
Jordan, I'm going to go to you next, mate, if you don't mind. The phrase I've used all season with Solskjaer is risk-adverse, pragmatic. I don't like coming on here and calling anybody a coward, but that's the word I'm going with tonight. It was cowardice. What do you think?
Yeah, I've had an emotional roller coaster with Ollie since he's come to United. Like, we want it to work. He is one of our own. He's a legend. And I've been the one constantly saying, look, sometimes a job is just too big for you. And even though he's learning on the job, it's just too big for him. Today was some of the worst in-game management I've ever witnessed on any level. There was decisions that needed to be made, and it was like he could not make them. And I'll sum it up by one tweet. Of all accounts, I was scrolling through Twitter during the game, and the Sun newspaper tweeted saying, Rashford looks burnt out. And that was in the 98th minute. If some whopper who runs the Sun Twitter account can see that Rashford needed to have been brought off, how can Ollie or none of his management team see that and make a change? In the 75th minute, I sat there and I watched it. We were getting overrun. Substitutions were made. No fresh legs were brought on. Do you know what? There wasn't a right substitution specifically, but just try something. And we didn't try anything. The decision to bring Fred on for Greenwood straight away said to me, we're happy to take this to penalties and roll the dice. The decision to bring Mata on and Telles on was already made 15, 20 minutes during extra time. We were getting overrun. We're lucky that it got a penalty. I honestly thought we were going to lose the game.
Let's read 1 second, Jordan. Quickly want to read these super chats. So don't time out. Here we go. Sam says, not brave enough. Nath Doc says, answer honestly. With a better manager, do you win tonight comfortably? If yes, where do we go from here? We'll come back to that one. Next question, Will says, did you think I would didn't think I'd beat Ollie out after today, but there was a game to show all of his team deficiencies. It was this one, 100%. Let's keep going. Just there you go. Jesse Dyer says, just joined in, but this has to stop being acceptable. I fired engineers for less. A dozen sackable offenses, no repercussions. Christ. Here you go. Here's another one. Yeah, it's real. Ollie, you incompetent coward. Yeah, people are upset. Utterly humiliated. Donny Wild, I'm not going to call him Rashford that. And McTominay, I think he's one of our best players today. Played was Bielsa, Conte, Don Carlo, or Zizou. These are what people want to see. Here you go. AJ says, should any of the blame be put on De Gea? Oh, we're coming.
Not a chance.
Henderson, God, no.
No way.
Jesus, no.
Not even Jack.
Not
even Jack can't even come out and
I should go to Jack.
Henderson would have scored. You know what I mean? You cannot even go down that route. I'm not having it, man.
No, actually, that's what we'll do, Kevin. We go to Jack right now because I know Jack has been a huge exponent. Exponent of De Gea. So read super chats and we go to Jack about De Gea tonight.
Here you go. It must be Zayn. No, it's not. There you go. Nicholas says, I've given Ollie all the chances I'm going to give. He has no clue about in-game management. 90 minutes with no substitution. Emery saw what was needed and did what was necessary. This is on Ollie's shoulders, 100%. Here he goes. It was Zayn Miassi. Get ready for Conte Spotify revolution next season. Jay has the cat on your tongue. What a loser, but I have to rate him because we got to hold our medicine, bruv. Today is a horrible day, but listen, over to you, Jack. What do you say about the goalkeepers? What's your thoughts?
Well, to be fair, KG, the goalkeepers is the least of today's worries. It's not on De Gea, the reason we lost that game today. The thing that infuriates me most is that we have a manager who has made his United career, forged his United career by scoring in a cup final, coming on as a sub. And what does Ollie do? Not bring on subs in a cup final. It kind of just... I think that's a very valid point because you look at the players we had on the bench, and I just spoke to Alex off air. We haven't got great strength in depth, but we have Ahmad, we have Van der Beek. Obviously, we brought Matter on for pens, but you could see from the first half of extra time onwards, Villarreal were there for the taking. Unai Emery was sitting in, waiting for penalties. We'll just go for penalties. That was it. We were just settling the score there and then. I saw about 98 minutes. I think Shaw went down with a little niggle, and you could just see the game was going towards the penalty shootout. And to put the blame on David De Gea and know what. I've got my views on Dean Henderson, and he should have been subbed on. He should have been subbed on in the second half of extra time. De Gea hasn't saved the penalty since, I think they said, the commentators, April 2016. But that doesn't take away. Yeah, that does not take away from the fact that there were 21 penalties beforehand, which were perfectly taken. And David De Gea, and I totally agree with Kev, Dean Henderson steps up for that, doesn't make a tad all of difference. But I am absolutely devastated. And I genuinely think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is tarnishing his reputation now that he had as a player, because he's coming in as a manager. And I know Alex is going to probably say, because he's been saying all on the fan forums about this Ole stuff, but when does this stop? When does the trend stop? And I know KG's got his views, and I know you asked us the question, but KG, mate, to be honest, I think Villarreal were there for the taking, and we couldn't deliver. That 11 on the pitch today should have delivered us the Europa League today. And Villarreal tactically were good, but we were just not at it. From minute one, Pogba was good first half hour. McTominay played well. I actually thought McTominay played quite well.
He was
but
class.
On the whole, Lindelof,
Lindelof
for the first goal.
Bloody shit.
Lindelof for the first goal, soft as shite. How is Moreno getting through?
You're stealing my lines now, Jack.
Yeah, I saw your tweet, but still, no. Like I was screaming. I was screaming at the TV. No, this wasn't me taking Jay's tweet. I genuinely was screaming that at the TV. I know. Soft as shite, Jay. And I know you're going to go on about Lindelof and the busted sofa that he is, but Ollie needs to be backed, because let's face it, guys. KG, I think you know this deep down as well, because you've been voicing this publicly as well. We're not going to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is here to stay. It's not going to change. He needs to be backed in the summer. No, he's not. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. But it doesn't matter if you could give him as many players as you want to.
No,
if he doesn't know what to do with them,
100% agree, Jordan. 100% agree.
Yeah, he had options today and didn't use them.
Exactly. We turned into a banter club tonight. Genuinely, we turned into, and I can see that the chat's coming. We turned into a banter club, and it's so true. It's a disgrace. I'm gutted.
Lads, I agree with every single word you're saying. Jack, you said banter club. Has Solskjaer tarnished his reputation? And Jordan, everyone so far hit the nail on the head. So next, I'm going to go to Kevin. Kevin is wearing arguably the most iconic jersey ever worn by a player for our club. Barcelona, 1999. 30 years to the day. 30 years to the day of Matt Busby's birthday. And we go out against a team that finishes 7th in La Liga. Now, lads, I put a lot of work into scouting Villarreal. I went through every one of their players. It was obvious that they were going to control possession if they could. And it was also fucking obvious, pardon my French, and I'm going to curse, because I'm fucking annoyed. It was also obvious that they didn't have a winger, and everything they did was going to come from set pieces or come through the middle. Now, I don't have a UEFA A coaching license. I've got no coaching badges, and I can see that. So what the hell is Solskjaer and his staff doing at Carrington with all their money they're getting paid, their big fat salaries, their so-called coaching badges, when I'm just a presenter on a fan channel, and I can do a little bit of research and find out about Villarreal and what they're going to do. And Villarreal did exactly what we said they'd do. But yet, our management team can't fucking see it. Kev, up to you, mate. Has Solskjaer tarnished his legacy after tonight?
Listen, mate, I'm not going to say he's tarnished his legacy. If anything, he's made his job a bit more difficult than what it should have been. Tonight, we should be... Listen, in spells, we're in that game. When Cavani scores that goal, we're back in the game. What was it? Jordan nicknamed him Linda Soft. I mean, tonight, for the first goal, Linda Cock. That's my name for him now because he is a cop. And I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, honestly, I'm like, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer trusts this guy to lead his line, and I know Harry Maguire's out and all that, and again, another argument is Harry Maguire, how much do we miss him in that? But I mean, Lindelof, it's just like, how many times are we going to see him get bullied off the ball so easily? This is a Europa League final. Listen, selection-wise, let me go back to that. I was surprised by the team until I heard that Fred had a slight knock, apparently. But how does he come on? You know, it's like, did he choose Pogba and McTominay? And listen, McTominay, I'm not blowing my own trumpet or anything. I thought McTominay did well today. I thought, if anything, he was the driving force of Manchester United. And I put him ahead of Fernandes. I'm not trying to be Ricky style going that one matters better than Fernandes or anything like that. I'm saying that McTominay, for what he tried and did today, he was trying to lead the team. Can we give credit to Villarreal for that performance? Yeah, we probably can. They snuffed us out. We did that. They did this, they did that. Listen, there's Arsenal fans, for Christ's sake, on social media carrying on and saying, Emery, well done and all that. The same Arsenal fans that were hounding this man out of their club for playing shite football and all that. So what I would say is, are you playing Champions League football next season? No, you're not. Don't want to talk about Arsenal too much. But on a United perspective, Rashford, I think we'll probably talk about him. Listen, tonight, I would have started him, but there comes a certain point of the game where you go, this is not working. And everybody's touched on it. We'll all touch on the same thing. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is he pragmatic? Can he make the right changes at the right time? He has done it this season at certain times, 1-0 down at half-time. But for today, I'm sorry, he has not made the changes necessary to win this final. And anybody that is in the comments saying that this is David De Gea's fault, have a couple of these bad boys.
Let me read some of these.
Yeah, Kevin. Go, KG, go.
Rashford is Orford. Pogba on the left, way better. Bruno disappears in big games as usual. Oli is gutless and poor. There you go. Sugar, I've got to read from the top. There you go. Please understand that buying players will not improve Ollie's in-game management. Buying players will only hide his lack of in-game management. There you go. Yeah. There's another one. Watford, Liverpool, and Arsenal rejects were outdone today. No subs is unforgivable. I'm not Ollie out, but seriously, do better. It's on him tonight. There you go. Jesse Dyer says tonight's about United fans. Rival fans have nothing to do with the trajectory of our club. Can we make a difference? Well, we haven't. It's time to move this summer, transfers or not. Wow, they're coming in quick and fast. Kenny Jr. says, do you guys think that Lindelof wasn't Swedish? He would play. I'm starting to think Ollie has a Scandinavian favoritism along with his usual phrases. Oh, okay. Hold on, there's more. Lost patience with Ollie, to be honest. This is from David. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for those on the bench. Johnny, what do you have to do? What do you have to do, players to get? Oh, sorry. What does he do? The players' confidence must be so strained. There you go. Where else? What we got here? John P. I'm trying to get through it. I know we got a show. Here we go. I told Mark we lost to live. The final will be lost. He begged to differ. They stepped up. How can people be blind to the fact that there's no winning mentality from top to bottom? That's from John P. Wow, there's so many. You guys acting like brats. There you go. Someone from the other side. Ollie is an embarrassment. Destroyed his legacy. This is a season with progress. Second place and reach the final. There you go. So again,
what? Hang on a second.
What's supposed to be nearly, man? Then
hang on a second. This person is sending that message, right? Thanks for the message, right? Thanks for sending the message and thanks for putting a super chat. But if you don't understand the history of the club and where we've come from to where we are now, go and watch another sport, mate. Bloody hell.
No, and so what we do is, I think I tried to get through as many super chats as possible while keeping the show entertaining. What we gotta do now, welcome Austin. He's a new member. What a day to become a new member. I'm so sorry, bro. Yeah, Alex, we haven't heard from you, bro.
Alex, I want to discuss with you right now one of your favorite players, Marcus Rashford.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to be like,
because from what I saw tonight, for 87 minutes, that lad that got injured after about 3 minutes, Mr. Foyt, had Marcus in his back pocket. I'm amazed Foyt got off the pitch because Marcus was glued to his arse pocket all night. Discuss.
This is exactly what I was talking about with Jack before we went on air. It's a difficult one because I was saying before half time, take Rashford off for Van de Beek, move Pogba into the left wing. But with that said, Rashford was the one that created the goal that ended up from Cavani scoring. So it's what we've talked about on this show so many times, that he'll play awful all game, and then you guys call him a moments player or whatever, and then he'll create the chance that ends up getting us back in the game. But with that said, he was absolutely terrible overall. I put a tweet out saying, in the first half, you watch him and Mason Greenwood, and then who would you think is the inexperienced teenager playing their first ever final? You would never have said it was Mason, would you? He was so good in the first half, and then he faded obviously as he got tired as the game went on. But Rashford it's just frustrating. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I know that he is injured, and I know how much talent is there, but some of the decision making he does, like I said with the Mason point, like Mason he used to do those dribbles into blind alleys, but he doesn't do it anymore, and he's so much more tidier on possession. The amount of times Rashford just runs into a group of people, it just makes no sense. So his injury can only be used as an excuse so far because he hasn't got a head injury that's making him do this.
Nice one.
You know what I mean? In like the grand scheme of things, like with Ollie in the subs, it's like, again, I was talking about with Jack, I'm like, who did we really bring on? Like I said, we could have brought on Donny, maybe Ahmad. I thought there was actually a time that we could have brought on Dan James, but then I think he was thinking, and yeah, you could say it's a defeatist attitude, but thinking about the penalty shootout that would have been following later, and Rashford would be someone that you trust for a penalty, and I was thinking, oh God, we wouldn't trust Dan James, but then he took a brilliant penalty, so that would have been done. But then the one question I have with regards to the Ollie in, Ollie out is that, number one, he has made progress. How much progress is debatable. But I was saying before we went on the air about, like, with Liverpool, like, Rodgers hadn't really done a massive amount to get sacked if he was with a board that took time. Because Klopp was available, they pulled the trigger. And I think it was the same likewise with Chelsea with Tuchel. And now Conte's just become available. I feel like that would be someone that could actually take us up a level.
Conte would leave. Conte will see what the Glazers are
Fair
doing
point.
out in the summer.
Alex, I've got another question for you before I go to KG. What did you make of Rashford's miss in his 69th minute? Like a clinical pass from Cavani to Bruno, lovely cross, and Marcus, like, bloody hell. You got, 21 goals a season. You're the leading striker in England. You're going to be playing European Championships. Show some ice in your veins on 69 minutes. That's one point I want to ask you about. And the second point then I want to ask you about, 78 minute, the ball, if you can recall the game now, the ball is on the left-hand side of the post. Even Paul Pogba is back fighting Gaspar. Sorry, he's fighting, I guess right. He's fighting Foyt, the right back for the ball. And Rashford is standing like a goddamn statue as Pogba is fighting for the ball. Now, Pogba, to be fair to the man, he rarely fights for the ball. But when he does, you know the game is on the line. But our great Marcus Rashford is like a goddamn statue. Do you want to respond to that?
With the latter bit, I don't have the notepad, so I don't remember that bit. But I did think that Pogba did put in a lot of effort. Make notes. With the with the miss, I think it would that would have fallen to England's actual true best striker, then that would have been buried all day long. But it was like, we don't know whether he was offside or not. But that isn't the first time. When Rashford was breaking through the ranks over the past few years, I remember how many times he's been one-on-one with a keeper, and I always just say how Martial's so much better one-on-one with the keeper, and then later on, as Greenwood broke into the team, he's so much better. That's always been a case with Marcus with his finishing, but in these big sort of games, you get like 1 or 2 chances, and when they come, you have to take them.
Ollie,
and
wait.
you just didn't take them.
Let's get back to it though. This is on Ollie, guys. I'm sorry to
Facts, KG. It is on Ollie. It is on Ollie.
Even how you break this down, Ollie's. Let's just look at Ollie's decision making just to really understand what's going on here. Ollie said to Pogba, "Here you go." He brings him back into the side, puts him on the right hand side. We get a few good performances from Pogba. We say, "Rah, is Pogba the answer to the right hand side?" We don't know. We're not sure. Everything's kind of crazy. Anyway, he moves it forward. He moves Pogba onto the left-hand side and takes Rashford out, puts in Greenwood. We're looking at this saying, are we building with this? Is this something? Should we expect something from this? Ollie waits for a final. We've been talking about this Mick Fred thing forever. Ollie waits for the final to say, you know what? I'm going to break up Mick Fred today. And I'm going to try, instead of the form that Ollie Pogba was getting on the left-hand side with Bruno, he said, you know what? Forget that. Then you talk about the changes, substitutions. You can see everyone and their girlfriend could see that, even the dogs, even the cats, any animal could see that Rashford was not working. Take him off. But then for some strange reason, Ollie just does not believe. Like, Ahmad, what does he have to do to have a moment? Why did you think Ollie?
Mate, he has like, I can understand what you're saying with Ahmad, but he has like 8 senior games, so it's a massive risk.
Yeah, but bring Van der Beek on and throw Pogba.
Yeah, Van der Beek.
Put him in the pivot.
Ahmad came on and scored us that nice header against.
I get you, but I'm
saying that you give these fringe players a moment to make their name. Do you know what I mean? You didn't allow it. What you did is you said, I'm going to gamble. You said, I'm going to play it safe and get to penalties. It's bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, no new contract for me, and let's just next season.
Dan James as well could have been a massive asset, I think, on that as the game wore on, hitting them on the break. Because when they actually started to take control in extra time, I thought. So if you would have actually brought Dan James on, he could have actually been a real asset, but we brought him on right at the very end when it was too late.
Yeah, Jordan. I said, I'm going to come to you next.
Yeah, go on.
What's your take on Marcus Rashford? Would you have taken him off earlier, knowing full well that Foyt had him in his back pocket for the duration of the game? Would you have brought on an Ahmed or a Dan James for Rashford earlier in the game if you were manager, per se?
Yeah, I agree. The substitution I would have made earlier would have been Dan James for Rashford. Not that I'm a big Dan James fan. And again, like I said earlier, I don't think was specifically a right substitution, but just make a substitution. Try something.
Yeah.
You know, Van der Beek couldn't get minutes with FIFA points. He can't get on the pitch. You've just got to try to change the game and win. And I think that's what's annoying about it, is that Villarreal didn't do anything that we didn't expect them to do. They pretty much set up exactly how we expected them to do.
Yeah.
They weren't really massively threatening. They were quite toothless going forward. They were waiting to pick us off on a set piece. But we played right into their hands. And it is on Ollie. It really is. And I said at the beginning of the season, if we could finish second and win a trophy, then for me, that's progress and we move forward. We finished second, but because of the way we've lost that final, I really don't think Ollie deserves a new contract. I really don't. I don't think he's the man to take us to that next level, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jordan, I would agree with you. Sorry, KG, is there super chats? You go ahead and read them.
Yeah, sorry. Here you go. Sean O'Sutherland says, I remember people slating Sir Alex every week. Hindsight is a great thing. Are any of you tuned in? Wow. Okay, cool. I don't know what that means, though. I'm not going to lie. Here you go. Here's another one. Ryan says, show me one Champions League or Europa League winner who made 0 subs in 90 minutes. Ollie's a disgrace. Rashford, wow. Hold on. Ollie's a disgrace. Okay. Rashford hasn't played well in 6 months. Ollie out, he's saying. Let me read the ones at the top. There you go. We need Zinedine Zidane, is what some people are saying. The Real G says, I can't wait till next season when Ollie is found out. Mark shouts about second in the league, and it's a piss poor COVID year. We won't be there next year. There you go. JT says, Ollie's only mistake is starting both Mr. Marcus Rashford and MG. Hold on. MG, who's that?
Mason Greenwood.
Greenwood. Yeah. No one to bring on a subs. There you go. Limit his options for subs. Otherwise, manage the game well. Ollie out talk is embarrassing. Squad spirit is never better. Okay. This is T-Bomb says, can't take any more. Been supporting for 20 years. but this just gets me down. Yeah, I feel you. John says, Fergie's interview and Nev, he spoke about risk. How can you you just can't win without it. Ollie doesn't seem to know how to take them. There you go. There's so many more. Guys, I'm trying my best. To all, Ollie needs back in the summer. We already have better players in the current squad. Ollie doesn't even use. Ollie can't use our best players, 100%. Having Ollie as a manager when Bielsa, Carlo, Conte, Zizou can be appointed is more infuriating. Here you go. Wait. If you don't trust your bench, but anyone on there would have done better than Rashford. Pathetic. Here we go. George says, do we agree it's time to sack Ollie? If not, we what can we do to improve? It's not the least we can do, therefore, to improve the coaching stuff. No amount of players is going to get us the titles. I'm going to hand it back over to you, Jade. Listen, they're coming in thick and fast. People.
Okay, I want to come to Kevin next, because the question I want to ask Kevin is, Kevin, do you think that Solskjaer is merely the man before the man because Solskjaer is a yes man for the Glazers?
I think he will. Well, listen, you could say that about any man. You could say he's man before the man. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be United for the next 28, 29 years like Sir Alex Ferguson was. Them days are over. Arsene Wenger at Arsenal. These days are well and truly gone because of the modern day football fan. You know, we look back at, listen, if what was it, Mark Robbins hadn't scored that goal, Alex Ferguson would have been out of a job. And who knows where Manchester United would have been. Now, listen, I am not for 1 minute comparing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with Sir Alex Ferguson. But there will become a tipping point. I'm sure, listen, it is there with many fans now that they will look at it now and go, well, he's not won us a trophy in that. For me, I'm just glad that we've achieved Champions League qualification this season. Again, I keep saying it's not an achievement, but if he hadn't, and this is probably a question to everybody else, if we'd have finished 6th, 7th this season and we lost this final tonight, the way we went into it with Mourinho when he threw all the eggs in one basket and it was like, if we lose this is our season over, would you have still kept Solskjaer? So if we finish 6th or 7th and we lose this final tonight, we went into it, would you have kept him?
Actually, Jack, you respond to that. So, like Jose, he was a serial winner. And for me, I know Jordan agreed with me in a previous show, he should have taken over as the manager in 2013, for me. And I remember, Jordan, you agreed in a previous show. By 2017, Mourinho won this competition after throwing all his eggs in the Europa League basket. But tonight, Solskjaer, he had victory in his grasp. And he wasn't clinical enough to achieve victory. So do you think tonight is a tipping point in the fan base that's going to divide the fan base even more to Solskjaer in, Solskjaer out?
Well, Jay, I think the fact that the fan base is going to tip more towards Ollie out is the performance. Because if we would have lost that final and actually played with a more pragmatic, forward-thinking approach, then we may not have had many complaints. Yes, it's gutting to lose a cup final, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. But there is no excuse for today. Villarreal were there for the taking. We knew how they were going to set up. We knew they were going to sit with a low block, and I just don't think. Rashford, he should have been subbed off early, but Ollie doesn't have the balls to make them substitutions. I never, ever thought in my mind, because I was thinking about the Henderson for De Gea substitution for the penalty shootout. He was never going to bring De Gea off. He was never, ever in his mind. He would never, ever have brought, as Jordan said, in the first half, bring Rashford for Dan James or Donny van der Beek. Because I was thinking Donny could literally go slot in next to McTominay, maybe throw Pogba on the left, or you still had, Matic was still on the bench, wasn't he? Yeah, Matic was on the bench. Yeah. And I just think you look, and that's a manager that's tactically inept, whereas Mourinho...
Jack,
Ollie, no.
That's like going down the Tim Krul thing in the World Cup. You bring a keeper on, it works out for you, it looks great. if we spin this round right tonight,
Oh, of course.
and he'd have brought De Gea off and brought Henderson on, and that'd have come down to the kick Henderson had to kick.
If
and
he missed it, would have been.
But De Gea's not saved the penalty.
No, but wait, no.
Jack
would have
Jack
gone
is spot
off.
on with what he's saying.
No,
He's literally spot on with what he's saying because De Gea has saved like one penalty his whole career.
The De Gea Henderson
the big managers make those calls.
Yeah,
Big managers make those calls. You're given an extra substitution. You're given an extra substitution in extra time to make that kind of call. Mourinho, looking at those stats, would have made that call. Pep would have made that call. Brendan Rodgers would have made that call.
Yes.
You said the bro
spot on with what he's saying.
KG, go ahead. KG, go ahead. KG, go ahead.
What I'm thinking is this: Ollie's bought, and we have to look at how Ollie's managed the Hendo De Gea situation. It was crazy. De Gea went on paternity leave, and then he lost his space to Hendo, which means he was trying to get Hendo in there or thereabouts. He was doing something. So now you're saying we've been chopping and changing throughout, even in the Premier League. So you say to yourself, this is the biggest moment. You have to look at stats. You have to look at what keepers. I knew from the beginning that De Gea don't save penalties.
Exactly.
He does not save them. So as a tactical manager, you got to say to yourself, De Gea's not really good on penalties. The last 6 penalties, the last 5 out of 6, Henderson has saved. So you say to yourself, he's good with penalties. Bring him on. It's not. And yes, will it crush your player? Potentially, but that's your job as a manager. You make the hard decision. Today, the hard decision needs to be made about Rashford. Take him off, bro. Take him off. Bring in someone else. Again, we keep saying this. Why have we bought these players? Why do you have a bench? If you're never going to use it, what's it there for? Because you can't tell me that the 5 players made the 5 players that VIllarreal bought were better than our 5 players on our bench. No one can say that. But this is
they weren't.
It comes down to piss poor management.
Yeah, but KG, if you don't bring them on, you don't give them a chance. So what's the point? They're just sitting on the bench. Yeah.
Why do we now? You lot are saying give him money, give him this. Even there was a time, I don't know if you guys saw it near the end of the first half. Greenwood finally runs at his man to go around the back and then whip him across. So you start to say, well, we've had some joy there. Greenwood's not the fastest man in the world. Let's go at this player. Let's really punish him. Let's force him to make a mistake. Let's be cute enough. Let's get players around Capoue to get him sent off. There's things that clever thing with management, and it's not happening. Who else wants to read the super chats? Because
I was going to say,
KG, you made a great point there about Capoue. Capoue fouled Bruno 6 times tonight and only got a yellow card. I felt that referee tonight was shocking. In the first half, Villarreal were committing blatant foul after foul after foul, and he was letting them go. Like Cavani got taken from behind. I can't remember the player who took him from behind. I'd be lying if I said I did. I don't remember. And it wasn't even a booking. But if Capoue had been playing the Premiership tonight, I don't think he'd have seen the second half because it was constant fouling, and he stayed in the pitch. Sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
But do you know what, guys? Yeah, but again, that's game management. They were told to target the players that are known to kick out and lash out. They went for Cavani because they know Cavani's got a temper. They went for Bruno because he got a temper. If you notice, when Fred come on, they were doing the same to Fred as well. It all comes down to in-game management. There's plenty of ways to manage a game out. So that was all tactics.
Yeah,
Ollie played into their hands.
And I genuinely believe when that Cavani goal went in, Emre sit back. He was sit. You could see that we had to come on to them, and Ollie didn't see that. He didn't see that the game was there for the taking, as we've all said. And that's, gutted.
Can I just say one thing about David De Gea and the penalties just quickly before we move on, guys? I don't know if it's just me, but when I looked at David De Gea stood on the line when the Villarreal player was about to take the penalty, he looked like a fish out of water. He already looked like that's it. It's going to hit the back of the net. He just looked really feeble, like long streak of piss.
Big or anything like how?
No, nothing. He didn't look
like
big. He didn't look. He didn't come out. Nothing. That substitution should have been made.
You need to choose a spot. He was rooted. He was rooted to the spot for the first couple of penalties for Villa.
You're actually spot on. You're spot on, guys. Jack and Jordan, you're spot on regarding the penalties in De Gea. And I have been espousing the virtues of De Gea over Henderson for the last 3 months. I have, and I gotta call a spade here. When it's like a minute to go, it's going to be penalties. You're thinking, okay, De Gea hasn't saved one since 2016. So the stats, David, are not in your favour. So I'm going to take you off, and I'm going to pull a World Cup, aka Holland and Krul, and put on Henderson because he's not bad at penalties. But again, that goes down to either naivety of the manager, or is it simply lack of fucking balls on behalf of the manager? I don't know. Sweet free seats. I'd like you to respond. Is it naivety or lack of balls? Because we need to get the bottom of it here. Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I'll just read this super chat very quickly. JT online says online inside. He says easy to say make subs. No one would have changed the game state except DG for Greenwood Rash. Villarreal's pens were too clinical for anyone to save. I think we can agree. Listen, that as penalty shootouts go out,
never seen
it. Was insane.
It was top class. It was top class.
To be fair, someone's telling us to read super chats, so we're back in again. Sean O'Sullivan says, "Oops, where did that come from? It's too late." There you go. Do you think Van der Beek will leave? 100% he could leave.
No, not this summer.
All right, so I got to read these ones up at the top. Here we go. There you go. Sean O'Sullivan says it's so hard. All of you said play Rashford, play De Gea. Now it's easy to take them off. Ollie out. Oh my God! So you're basically saying you guys are jokers, basically.
No, actually, sorry, KG. We said on Saturday when we did the preview, most of us said put Marcus on the bench and play Mason. Most of us actually said that. So this person sending the message clearly didn't watch our pre-match.
No, I said on the beginning, I thought he should play, and then I said that the kid. But at the end of the day, yeah, when we're not the managers, bro. So if the player's not working, we expect a manager to make an in-game decision. That's not hard. It's not like we're not asking for too much. So I think sometimes people need to sit down with comments like that. But again, it's your opinion in it, so you're allowed to have it. Here you go. Yeah. De Gea looked too friendly, chatting with every player before the penalty, hugging before the game. His mind seemed off the shootout. Harsh. Arsenal fans laughing at us. Remember, you're bad. Even Emery could not win you a Europa League. Mad thing. Why is everyone talking about Diallo? Why isn't anyone talking about Diallo, our new signing? There you go.
We did say about him coming on.
Yeah. Are we blaming De Gea for not saving penalties? The Villarreal keeper didn't save one until the De Gea one. Well, he did save one. Yes. Ollie's to blame, not De Gea. There you go. Ollie is here because of history. We need to stop being sentimental and look at his ability to coach. No other top team would have him as a coach. De Gea looked to read that one already. Gutted and speechless. Don't have the energy to criticize or even comment. Love the club, love United stand, love your family, even on my down days. Oh, thank you very much.
Love you too.
There you go. We need Zidane. There you go. If we had better depth, I believe we would have won. De Gea getting blamed. Look at our back line. Bailly was frustrating me today, Today proved to me, because even, little mistakes where Bailly was kept on, the referee was loving to give away fouls. And the way they scored through the set piece should have told us, listen, these guys are very dangerous. Don't give away stupid fouls. Bailly just kept on doing that. I kept on seeing the same smile, and it just was pissing me off. As time wore on, I was like, maybe you're not good enough. You know what I mean? Maybe you're not good enough. And Shaw didn't get blamed because Lindelof got the blame. Shaw, that run that he is his man. That scored, that made the run round and scored, got the goal.
Overall, though, Shaw played well, I thought.
You can't trust him.
I don't think him and
he did.
Guys, I'm just seeing a lot of comments saying about that we're basically blaming De Gea why we lost. No one here is saying
no.
Yeah, no one here is saying the reason we lost that game is because of De Gea. What we're doing is discussing things that Ollie could have done to win the game.
Oh my God.
So for me, the substitution should have made in reaction to the substitutions that VIllarreal made. What we're discussing is, as a manager, looking at the stats, looking at Henderson has saved X amount of penalties, David De Gea hasn't saved X amount of penalties. You get given an extra substitution in extra time to make decisions. A ballsy manager would have made that decision and he didn't. So nobody here is blaming De Gea, and I just want to clear that up. There's no agenda here.
Yeah, Jordan, you're spot on that comment. Nobody here is blaming De Gea. Let's be fair. Penalties are lottery.
It's a lottery.
It's 12 years out. It's lottery. And I
you have to give yourself the best chance. You have to give yourself that.
Yeah, agreed. However, I opened the show and I said that was 21 of the best taken and executed penalties I've seen in 30 years watching football.
Even Fred scored one.
Yeah, precisely. And I remember, Kevin, I was sitting there with my son and my partner watching Fred, and I was like, oh, Jesus, not Fred. He's going to miss. And even Fred scored. So none of us here are saying it's David De Gea's fault that he either A, didn't save any of the penalties, or B, missed the penalty. But what we are saying, and I'm parroting Jordan, is that the manager should look at the stats. I said, right, David, you haven't saved one in over 5 years. Dino, you have. So, Dino, you're coming on, and we are literally going to play a numbers game and see can you save a penalty. That's what we're saying. So, anyone thinks otherwise, I'm very dubious. Guys, I want to move on slightly. I know we're all doom and gloom here, and rightly so, but I just want to throw a spanner into the works. How good tonight was. We have to have some positivity, guys. It can't be all depression and crestfallen. How good tonight was Wan-Bissaka? Kevin,
I think he was really good. I think he's proving why he's probably the best right back in the country. And listen, I find it really hard to talk about a performance about today because. A performance of one player in particular. It'd be so easy to talk about it now if we've won a game. To me, it's absolutely meaningless. It's easy for me to say. I've had a few drinks because I was enjoying the cup final. But what I mean is, it's just like you try to pick out one player. I'm used to Manchester United being a team. Manchester United, Eric Cantona, these game changers, Roy Keane, even Robin Van Persie to an extent where it's like, wow, as Borat would say. Goals going in left, right, centre. These players that step up to the challenge. And at the minute, we all say that Bruno Fernandes is. Today, he was kept quiet. Listen, that might be part of the game plan from their side, Villarreal, maybe they did snuff him out or whatever, but it is hard to talk about a defensive performance today. It's like I don't know where to go with that one, mate. It's just like
okay, it's okay. I'm just trying to extrapolate some positives from the game. I'm trying to pull some positives from it. Sorry, KG, go ahead.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I thought if I was to single out a performance, I would say I've given him a lot of stick, and a lot of people have given him a lot of stick. I know Kev hasn't as much as that. I thought Scott McTominay tonight was absolutely brilliant, and he's someone who I've slated a lot. But I thought tonight he was like our best player. I think I thought Greenwood was obviously in the first half our best player, but overall in the grand scheme of the game, I thought McTominay was absolutely sensational.
I can't do it.
I agree with that.
You know what
fair
it
point,
is?
Fair point.
Doing this year is like, that's like when we say, the bar, it's in hell, fam.
No,
like,
come on, mate. Even if we had a good team, we played well.
We played well, but guys, like, again, this is what this club's about, yeah. And I saw someone make a brilliant comment. Yeah, we're in the Champions League. So what if we don't win it? Like I'm all about winning trophies. This is the thing. Like, I'm not one of those. Yeah, we turn up and we are there. I don't care about that. Do you know what's happening on the weekend? Chelsea's playing Man City, fam.
Yeah, and Chelsea are no good either. So it's not like we're incapable of reaching.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our main rivals, yeah, who are like the people that we have to watch win, who we don't want to see win, like a Man City and a Liverpool. Man City are building a dynasty, fam. That's actually happening. Yeah.
Well,
The new Liverpool ascendancy is happening, and we are here. Maybe if everyone's just saying, you know what, we've had our time in the sun, we just need to chill, then maybe that's it. But I'm saying that from how I've grown up in all the years, even a draw, would be like a bad result. Do you know what I'm saying? That was under Ferguson. This is what I've grown up to know. So now sitting here and saying, let's find the positives out of a final defeat. I can't do that, especially when my manager's responsible. My manager said, you know what? I'd rather have the lottery ticket than try and win, fam. My manager was planning for penalties. What is going on?
Trust.
What is so I can't find, I can't just for the fans, you lot know I'm positive. I can't find that positivity and say, yes, there was some players that played good, but in the final, your main job, win it. That's it.
KG, the worst thing about this season and the last couple of years as a Manchester United fan, you've touched on it there, is the fact that Chelsea and Manchester City are going to be playing in a Champions League final, right? We've had to put up with all the bullshit of this B-Tech Champions League thing that we were in this evening. We've not won it, so we deal with it, right? It's sound, whatever. But the main thing is the fact that over the last few years, Liverpool and Man City have been challenging for the main honours, and we haven't. And we've fallen behind, yeah. We're trying to deal with that. We're trying to get on with it. You look at the year that Leicester won the league, I wasn't really bothered. You know what I mean? I was like, fair play to him. I don't know any Leicester fans, but living in Manchester, by God, I do know a few Man City fans, and they will mither me. They'll pet me head, and I'm like, right, sound. But it is that thing that what we class as our main rivals are now very, very competitive, and they're there. Well, if anything, they've leapfrogged us. And the worrying thing as a United fan, heartbreaking thing is, we were years above them, man. And now we're trying to actually climb back up this mountain to get above them. And that's the worrying thing for me, is because, and we can all go back to it, will the Glazers back Solskjaer? Will they give him the money to invest in the squad? You know what I mean? You look at Man City, the Sheikh, he'll keep spending money. Liverpool, it's a different story, but Man City are literally pulling away from us big time.
That's the scary thing, is that they might think now that if they have their doubts about Ollie, but they don't want to pull the trigger and sack him and get someone else in, will they back him this summer?
Yeah, but
It's
I know,
like,
Alex, I know a great way to get the fans on board, and we've said it countless times on these shows. Sign Jadon Sancho, just sell a load of shirts. That'll be the case. That'll be it. Sign Jadon Sancho.
There's no...
No, but honestly, the big marquee signing, the Glazers, they'll just get the fans back on board next season here. That is the cycle, and I totally agree with KG. I think that the trend needs to stop now, and it's... I've got no words now. It's just
not good enough, lads.
No, Jack, you're actually spot on, Jack, on what you said. Like, the Glazers' business model is sign a big marquee signing.
Yes.
That I don't personally. Our side doesn't need Jadon Sancho. For me,
no,
we know what it needs: a proper centre back and a proper CDM. Right?
We do kind
Jack,
of need
I agree.
him.
We do, but we don't.
But we don't need him over them positions.
Listen, if we only have 100 million to spend, you can't blow it in Jadon Sancho. Jordan, I read some super chats, Jordan, and I'll come back to you if you don't mind. It's from Alex Karan for $5. How is it that Ole, the super sub himself, cannot wrap his head around substitutions? Exactly. Should have put the pressure on them. Yeah, very pertinent point. And Chris Span says, shoulda, coulda, woulda, Solskjaer. Yeah. Trapo X for £5 says, it boils down to penalties are irrelevant. The game should have ended in the 90 minutes. And the reason it didn't is due to man management or is to blame. Yeah, I agree. And sorry, there's one more here. Hang on, there's one more here, guys. Yeah. It's from Craig McMurrin. What do you think about the transfer situation? If we have Sancho and another world-class centre-back, do we have the same tactical headaches as we had tonight? Jordan, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah. Having Sancho on the pitch today wouldn't have won us the game. That wouldn't have won us the game. We can sign whoever we want to sign, But if the manager can't put them out, set them up correctly, and make changes when he needs to make changes, it's never going to be good enough. And that's what the issue is. We've got a manager who's learning on the job, so we can keep giving him transfer windows. But until he gains experience and actually learns some tactical know-how and in-game management, we're not going to take that step. And it's a question of how much patience that we're going to give him. We can't change the owners at the moment.
Jordan,
what we can, yeah, go on.
I've got a question for you. So we saw our manager, and this is our manager, just so you guys understand this. Would you say Donny van der Beek had a good game, the last game that he played in midfield? Yeah.
Thanks, Wolves.
Wouldn't naturally your thought be you're the manager that signed Donny van der Beek? Wouldn't your natural thought say maybe I should bring him on? He didn't have a look in, even after he made no change to even bring on Donny after that good performance. We said that good performance means nothing. Twanzebe had a good performance. Did it mean anything? So I throw that to you. This is the decision that Ollie's made. What do you say on that?
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. This is what I'm saying. Like, we can sign whoever we want to, but if he doesn't use them in the right way, we're not going to advance. And I think our form leading into the final hasn't helped. You can't switch on and off good form. We haven't played well in the last 4 or 5 games. Yes, against Wolves we played well, but he wasn't the players that played today. So you're right. Donny had a good game. Why has he not looked at it 65, 70 minutes and gone, it's 1-1. We need to win it. They've made changes. Let's give Donny a go. Let's give Dan James a go. Let's just try something. And that's what I said. There wasn't a right substitution to make today. There wasn't a right one.
No, because he didn't
just make one.
He didn't prepare to use his squad. And that's what's been Ollie's problem this season. And I was worried from the press conference. Ollie said, I'm gonna back the players that got me here. He just said, like, the final is a reward for
like a bonus. He said a bonus.
And I was like, I would rather say form more so than just because you've worked hard to get us into this space. If you're playing good and you're in rhythm, let them play the final. I get that. That should be the next part. But then it's the fact that he chose you got me here. It was loyalty at all costs. And it's almost loyalty to hurt himself. But do you want to do a few more of the super chats, Jay, before we?
Yeah, definitely. I was want to hear from a Connor Devlin. Remember where the club was? Sorry, I've lost it here. My apologies. I'm going back. Okay, I've got Nicholas Peridas. What is the point in being in the Champions League if we have zero chance of winning? We could buy 100 players and Ole still wouldn't use them. Okay. And we have Haigata here for £5. Guys, I hope Ole is not going to do what Moyes did to Kagwa to Donny. Fair point. K-Flow says, Ole used 14 players all season. We can give him all the signings and he will still have the same issues. He bottled it. I agree. Tyler Hale. Dave has conceded 35 penalties in a row. Interesting. Saving shots is one job. He just doesn't have it when it comes to penalties. I actually know that. That's a very pertinent point. A new set from JSMHE MUFC compilation. A new centre back and Sancho would make a difference. Ole would use his bench if he has Sancho instead of James. But he had Diallo on the bench also. He could surely spring him on instead of James, but he didn't trust James. I'm still doing super chats here, guys. Give me a second.
Is that a City fan?
Deepak Singh. Guys, please don't be so gloomy. We will come back on another occasion. Champions League Instagram has unfollowed Arsenal. Okay, lovely. I've done that.
Should I get a few of these, Jay? Let me get this one.
Yeah, go, KG, go.
Relevant said, this is a Man City fan, by the way. Baffled by the lack of tactical manager signings. I'd be pissed if Ollie was our manager. It's disrespectful for a club of your stature, and it's showing.
I'd like to say, KG, what is a Man City fan doing watching a Man United fan channel?
He's come for the tears, bro. He's come to
at 12:30 at night. You should be in bed.
Yeah, have them sunshine.
Yeah, here you go.
2 for the price of 1.
A new CB Sancho. No, there you go. We've had that one already. Tyler. By the way, David. What's his name's receiving racial abuse, of course, obviously. It will have
for God's sake.
the pricks come out in it. Davis conceded 35 penalties in a row. Saving shots is his one job. He just doesn't have it when it comes to penalties. Yep. Boom. There you go. Justin Monday says, we keep bringing up our history. What's our selling point from the club now? If we're not winning trophies, what would sway a top player to come here? Another rebuild? Here you go. Loz. Sports boys, round robin, no budget, restrictions, no interruptions, one player or manager you sign now that will turn this club around. Again, there you go. Yeah. This puts our second achievement into perspective. Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea are all shot themselves in the foot. Need changes. I will just say this, because I know we're almost coming to the end, innit? I'm done. I'm done with Ollie. I know you guys are. I asked the question before. I said minimum for Ollie is a trophy. It's minimum. You know, he hasn't bought it, and what today showed me is there's a lack of understanding. There's a lack of him trying to learn on the job, and where things are, I don't agree with it personally. I think we're big enough as a club that I don't even think we haven't won a trophy since 2016-17. Yeah, it's unacceptable at Man United. We should set high standards, and if we're not careful, we do become the next Arsenal, or we do have 30 years like Liverpool before we're going for things again. There's big managers available. Liverpool did it when they had to get rid of Brendan. Brendan got them close, and they made the decision. Managers available right now: Zinedine Zidane, Conte, Allegri. Like there's people available that can push this club on and use substitutions. Yeah, that's how I feel. So as I stand right now, I am Ollie out. What say you? And those are my last words from me. But
Jack, say you. Go ahead, Jack. One at a time. Jack.
I said on the weekend about Ollie, and I wouldn't necessarily go against him getting a new 2-year deal, even if we lost. But it's all about the performance today, and you could see how tactically inept it once again showed. So I'm with KG on this as well. I just think a change needs to be made.
Kevin.
I've got to go against it, man. I think we're all, listen, we go to bed tonight, we sleep on it, we wake up in the morning and see where we're at. I think we're all highly charged, emotional. For me, I would not sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the basis of this result today. I think you have to reflect on the season. Yes, this trophy would have been brilliant to win tonight. We haven't won it. And yes, we can argue and sit here all night talking about the substitutions that we would have made. Why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Listen, he didn't do it. He learn from it, and we crack into next season.
Okay, Kev, fair point. Jordan, what's your point on this?
Yeah, I think it isn't just tonight. I think we've just seen what we've seen the whole time that Ollie's been at United. I think the job's too big for him, and I don't think that he is the right man to take us to that next level. There's plenty of experienced managers out there that would have got more out of the squad and the starting 11 that we
Jordan,
put out today.
Sorry to interrupt you. Here's the thing then, right? Who's mentioning Zidane? What affiliation or whatever has Zidane got with Man United? Who thinks he can just come into Manchester United now? I didn't mention
Zidane.
Zidane only works at Real.
I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying, would he walk in and get a tune out of Marcus Rashford, Greenwood and all?
No, not necessarily.
But maybe you have a different backing staff. Maybe you have other coaches to work out how to get more out of the players that we have.
Yeah.
Alex, what's your point?
I do kind of agree with Kev in the fact we have 100% make progress. One of the main things I love about Ollie, and actually what the club has been doing as a whole, is like moving towards this kind of model of like trusting in youth again and signing like the best teenagers around Europe. But I feel like, as I've said on the show multiple times, if we signed a director of football, we wouldn't need a manager to be instilling that. That would just be a club philosophy. And I do think, like I said to Jack at the start, before we went on the air, about that, with Liverpool pulling the trigger with Klopp, I feel like with Conte being available, that is one manager that I would kind of go all out for, just because he is a proven winner in winning league titles. Zidane, I think he's the sort of manager that, like, I think how Ollie has done really well for United, I think that would only work at United. And like with Zidane, I think that would only work at Real or Juve, because we haven't seen it really anywhere else. And it's different with like Pep at Barca, because people were saying all about his like tactical knowledge and stuff. Whereas with Zidane, he has done amazing at Real. Even when Ronaldo wasn't there, he was still doing well. But they aren't pointing to a certain like play style and stuff. So I'd say Conte or nothing.
Okay, look, listen, Alex, a very fair points. Guys, we actually still super chats to go through, so we have to read them out. Danny paid £5. Ollie wanted Sancho, Grealish, Uncampo, Haaland. You are delusional if you think he wouldn't use first-team players if he got them, which he hasn't. Okay, fair point.
Okay.
Roland,
sorry.
Yeah, Roland Jacob says, Arsenal are supporting Arietta after repeated 8. I'm assuming that's finished 8. What are you talking about Ole going? Ole has got us Champions League times. Ole, my manager. Okay, fair enough.
All right.
And we have Michel Gabier says, Bielsa would have smashed Villarreal with the players that were available. Okay. There's one more here from Sean Thomas. Worst thing about this is that Ole doesn't seem to be learning from his mistakes. His in-game management is criminal, I should say, and he seems tactically naive. Okay, listen, they're all very valid points. I just want to say one point, guys, and if anybody wants to jump in, feel free. Last couple of days on Twitter, a lot of our Indian followers and Indian fan base have been getting dogs abuse from so-called top reds on Twitter. Now, as we know on the show, and we've seen from super chats and from the free seats, we have lads in India and ladies, I assume, watching us at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and that is completely and utterly wrong. Just because I'm in Ireland, or someone's in India, or another person is in Canada, or Australia, or America, it doesn't make them any less of a fan than somebody that is living in Manchester. So, guys, please, for God's sake, grow up and lay off the worldwide fans. No, they may not have been in Manchester, they may not have been Old Trafford, but they're watching the games at ungodly hours, and they're watching us at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I think it's about time we show the worldwide fan base a little bit of respect. If anybody wants to respond to that, guys, please jump in before we get off.
I feel so bad for them having to stay up to whatever in the morning and having to watch that.
100. But you guys were saying, what do we need in the club? Let's say if Ollie's staying and stuff. Ollie never went to his bench today, which proves that he needs signings. Ollie made a point to not use any subs, which says midfield-wise, he needs signings. Ollie needs players if you want to get the best from him. That's what he's pretty much said today. After 120 minutes, Ollie didn't go to the bench. It proves it. The squad's not good enough, according to Ollie. That's what we are.
Can I just respond to that? There's players on that bench that were signed under Ollie's reign, and he still didn't use them. So he's had players, and we say this thing about we're signing some of the best players in Europe. He's not using them. Exactly. This is on the manager.
Do you feel that Van der Beek was it? Because I assume with that you're referring to like Van der Beek. Because do you think Van der Beek was actually an Ollie signing?
Ahmad,
he would have used him.
Ahmad
as a kid. James has proven over time
he signed.
I know, but James is obviously the jury's out of him. Van der Beek, I don't feel was like an Ollie signing. Ahmad is a kid. He's played like 8 senior games. No, but don't get me wrong. Right. I would have bought Ahmad on in this game. I probably would have bought James on earlier in this game. But I'm just saying, it's like if you have the choice between like Rashford and Mason, that if it comes down to a moment, if we get that one shot on goal, that one chance, who are you going to trust more, Rashford and Mason or Ahmad and James?
And I agree with you, but after 80 minutes, when those players that you trust haven't done anything and they're running on fumes, you've got to make a decision.
No, I do get it.
You've got to try something to win the game.
Without question, Ollie has to get backed because the biggest Liverpool have had all their injuries this summer. They're going to be coming back stronger next season. City are going to be coming even stronger because they've got 2 players in every position, which we don't have. We need right back cover. We need all these positions to be fulfilled.
It's the old adage that we always say, back him or sack him.
There you
Literally,
go.
back him or sack him.
What do you
But
say?
chaps, on that Beckham or Sackham theory, okay? I know maybe 2 months back, I went through all Solskjaer signings. He's gotten 290 million sterling worth of signings. Now, obviously, that does include Palestre and it includes Ahmed. So that's what he's got thus far since 2018.
But none of them have been like that big flops, would you say?
Well, Palestre's returning from his loan now. So
I wouldn't say they're flops per se, but what I would say is that he has failed to use his signings effectively. He hasn't effectively used Van de Beek or Ahmed in my book. Palestre physically needed to go on loan and needed to learn his trade. Yes, he did. But the news coming out of Atalanta and Gazette dello Sport was that Ahmed was ready to go and take on the Premiership, but Solskjaer hasn't used them. So I take your point regarding signings, hasn't been backed. But when you look at the numbers, again, guys, listen to me. I'm just simply here playing devil's advocate. He got 290 million worth of signings since 2018. Has he used them effectively? And that's the question for the floor.
The only signing that he's using was free, fam. Cavani. You know what I mean? Like
Mi hombre.
Bruno, obviously Bruno, but it's a shame. It's
So
shocking.
KG, are you saying if we made 3, 4, 5 signings, got the positions right, that Ollie's not the type of manager that could actually, even if we were to bring in, because they'd just sit on the bench anyway, even if we were to bring in 3, 4, 5 more names? Not that we're going to do that in the summer, but
Totally, because even Ollie has this loyalty, this staunch loyalty to players, no matter how good you're playing. It doesn't mean anything. Kwanzebe can play the game of his life. You're not playing. Play the game of his life.
That was bullshit.
Play the game of his life. PSG didn't play. Donny van der Beek had a good game against Wolves, still wouldn't get on. Like, there's players that just are not going to play for him. If he's made his decision, it's over. It's finished. You know what I mean? And that's Ollie's way. It sucks. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes just have these players in and around. Yes, they're not going to play like 90 minutes, but 60 minutes. We're talking about a lot of players have been getting 5 or 6 minutes, bro. Like, even Fish, I feel sorry for Fish. Fish's debut, 2 minutes, fam. What was that for? Who was that for? He invited his family down. Man said, yo, go and have this quick 2 minutes, bro. He's taking the piss.
it's not.
Yo,
Guys, we got super chats here that I want to read out, okay? And after reading them out, if anybody wants to throw anything else in the pot, feel free. We got one here from Ethubal. Look at this rubbish. OGS, we need to do better. We need to work harder, cleverer. But as I've said, 2 or 3 players strengthen the starting 11 and the squad altogether is important for us to go even further. And we got here from King Royale Media. Name one player who would have come and play for coaching like that. What else we got here?
KG has done me in with Fish.
Chuba says, don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. 5 a.m. and already still up. So Chuba, I hope you get some sleep. What else we got here? We have 20. Okay, I've done that. Who else? We have Pradik. We got Pratik Gob Agni. Thank you, Jay. We love the content from United Stand. Being realistic and pragmatic approach, we need to set our standards high next season. Love from India. So that's obviously what we said about the racism from so-called top Reds, I should say, towards our Indian fan base, which none of us agree with. So, guys, it's late now. It's 1:45 in the morning. If anybody has any closing points, the floor is open. Throw them in.
It's coming home. England now we have to look forward to. Boys, let's do this.
Alex, cop the fuck on, will you? Kevin.
My
man.
I'll touch on the top red stuff, right? I'm in the position where I've been called a top red before. Never knew what it was. when I first got called it on Twitter, I was like, sounds good, this. Sounds like, you know what I mean? Top red.
Top boy.
Yeah. And then when I looked into it, I was like, all right, means you're like a bit of a dickhead and all that. And you think, you know, because you're from Manchester, you support United and nobody else can. What I will say, Jay, and you put that very eloquently, again, that's so hard for me to say after drinking all these beers tonight. But it is the fact that Manchester United, listen, are worldwide. It doesn't matter where you're from in the world if you support United. I've met United fans on holidays around the world that have never been to Old Trafford. Doesn't matter, man. I've spoke to more people like that have spoke more sense about Manchester United than my mates have. The ones that go every week that are levered, can't even remember the game. So to me, it honestly, it does not matter where you're from, man. You know, whether you're from Manchester, India, Australia, America, wherever around the world, at the end of the day, we're all united. We're all in it together. Big up.
Well said, Kev. Well said. Well said. Thank you for that. Jack, final word.
Yeah, literally just echoing Kev's point. I also want Henderson to take the #1 jersey next season. So I'm really, really hopeful.
Useless.
Fingers crossed.
Useless.
The hayer's in the mud after today because
Kick him, Brendan, kick him.
All together.
We've all got an agenda against the Hayer, but no, I really hope Hendo, you know, brings it home. But no, big up literally all the United stand community that tune in every week. As I say, I'm kind of new to the channel and that. I don't want to get... So I saw Jay's little last 5 minutes of the notebook he did with Kev and he got a bit emotional and I was tearing up. So I don't want to get everyone tearing up, but yeah, it's been it's been quality. Like obviously today's not been quality at all, but you know, big up everyone that tunes in and as I say, worldwide fan base and hopefully next season we can bring it home. We can bring home a trophy and hopefully KG will put a bit of a smile on his face and start dropping some more bombs because that's what we love to see. So I'll bring KG, but big up everyone and look forward to what's to come.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. Hollywood KG, what's your final word?
I'm sad. I'm sad. That's it. There's no words. Thank you, everybody. Okay. What a season. Yeah.
KG, we like it when you're smiling, man.
I'm so sad. I'm so
Can you see that has broken the mighty KG?
I'm sad, bro.
That was an Oscar-winning speech, that KG. Well done.
That Cavani goal went in, and then they put up like the graphic on BT and like, oh yeah, 11th of August. This is Super Cup. I'm like, God, we're gonna have two trophies already by August 11th. I can't wait. And now look at us,
Alex. I had actually my partner. I rephrase that. My partner and I had booked 2 nights in Belfast for the Super Cup already. So that's gone tits. That's gone tits up.
Go buy your Villarreal set.
Fuck that shit. Jordan Valleys, my man. What's your final word on tonight and the season?
Yeah, I promised myself I wouldn't end the season saying that I wanted Ollie out, but that performance today and his in-game management has absolutely killed me. It really has. It was painful to watch. I said yesterday to you guys, it wasn't the starting 11. It was going to be 13 or 14 players that were going to win us that game. And it was clear to see. And he didn't get it done. But what you said about the United community, I couldn't agree anymore. I've been on the channel a couple of weeks and everybody has been absolutely amazing to me all over the world. I've had messages. We've got a great community and we need to pull in the same direction. So yeah, amazing, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Jay.
Well said, Jordan. Pleasure to have you. KG, my man, go ahead.
Jay, what's your final word, bro?
Yeah.
My final word is very simple. I'm not going to get all melodramatic and bring you to tears the way I brought Kevin to tears on the notebook. But look, it's been a long season.
You to tears? What are you on about?
Listen to me. It's been highs and lows, and it's been enjoyable. And I class you 5 guys now as mates. So you know what? We finished second. We didn't win Europa League, but meeting you guys online and having our chats over the season, it's been group therapy, and now class you 5 as friends, and that's the highlight of the season. for me.
Don't be starting all that emotional shit again.
So, listen, I want to thank everybody for watching all around the world. It's 10-1 in the morning in Ireland and the UK. So thanks for watching, guys. I know some of you are up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have actually even more respect for you. But thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, comment, and we will be putting out some shows during the Euros, having some banter on England as we do, and onwards and upwards.
And Mason Greenwood goal in the European Cup final. Let's go.
21 is coming in 22, we hope. Good night, guys. Thanks for watching.